Lions lose to the Philadelphia Eagles 9-16 in a very, very ugly fashion. Let's talk Lions. Woo! Got to give it to Philly. Got to give it to Philly. Defensively, they came to play. They applied the pressure to Goff. Our O-line didn't stand a chance against their D-line. And Philly's D-line has always been good, but man, have they invested in it. Even going and getting Phillips from Miami, like Jalen Carter, David, the whole bit, man. Philadelphia brought the house and they disrupted Goff. They disrupted him all night. And it just felt like he deteriorated fast. He deteriorated quicker than the word deteriorated in my mouth in this garage after having a few sips of the Backwoods Bastard by Founders Brewing. Dark, rich, complex, much like what was brought in Philadelphia last night. It was brutal. Hated it. Hated what I saw from the Lions offense. Again, Goff got rattled. He just didn't look himself. He comes into the game leading quarterbacks. I believe he was in first, maybe second in the NFL when it came to completion percentage, and he drops last night with like 37.8 completion percentage. Everything fell to the wayside. Now, some of that's got to do with weather. Right? Some of that's got to do with the fact that there's 35-mile-an-hour winds. It's cold. St. Brown goes 2 for 12 with like 42 yards. 2 for 12. That is not the St. Brown that you and I know. It was ugly. It was just ugly. The knight in shining armor offensively was Jahmyr Gibbs running for, well, it wasn't even his rushing. It was his receiving yards were at 107 total, and he looked great. Gibbs looked great. He completed what he needed to complete. Montgomery was a battering ram when needed. J-Mo obviously played pretty well as well. Gets that TD. People getting pissed off about his TD celebration. I don't care. Well, it cost us a point. Well, in the end, it cost a point that didn't even matter because our offense couldn't even get rolling at all in general. Yeah, there's an element where I look at J-Mo where I'm like, you gotta rein it in, man, and you gotta understand that you cost it because there's wind effect, and Jake Bates isn't gonna kick that then from, 42, 47 yards. Like, that extra point goes way back. It's brutal. And in a game against a game that matters, because right now the Lions have fallen out of what is the playoff race. Again, rubber meets the road after Thanksgiving. But you need these wins. You cannot lose to Philly like this. 9-16, where the offense just looked bad. No Sam Laporta. You could feel it. There's good, bad, and ugly throughout it all. I would say first and foremost, our defense, the Lions defense, looked phenomenal. Kelvin Shepard had them dialed up in a manner in which, man, I just haven't seen against a stalwart team like Philly. I mean, Jack Campbell played out of his mind. The linebacker core, the secondary, even the defensive line looked really good. Maybe limited pressures on Jalen Hurts, but still played great up front. But Jack Campbell, I think he had his season high for the 2025 season of 15 tackles in this game. Alex Anzalone, a name that I feel like we haven't heard a ton this season other than the contract disputes earlier before the season began. I feel like, Jack Campbell has taken on the role of leading the linebacker core. But Alex Anzalone came up huge multiple times last night, was great in coverage. He had that one solid tackle for loss where he came flying in on the side. Like, all in all, I look at the linebacker core and very impressed. I've been impressed. Obviously, the Lions keeping 3 linebackers out. I think I want to say second most in the NFL, or they're in the top 3 teams that are running defenses with all 3 linebackers out there at one time. And it's working. Man. And speaking of working, how about the secondary? Man, these guys have found a way in and of their own without DJ Reed, right? Again, without Kirby Joseph, Vontae Maddox not around. And I think, man, it's just been impressive. Rock Ya-Sin playing great football. That PI call in the fourth quarter was with a minute and a half left. It was absolutely brutal. It was such a clean play. It sucks to see for him and for what could have happened for the Lions. Not that the Lions deserved it. I mean, based on our offensive play, but I will say up front, defensively, love what Kelvin Shepherd has dialed up in Detroit with this squad. Worried that the man is going to potentially move on from the Lions this offseason with some potential head coaching jobs. But look, we just got to talk about the elephant in the room, and it's the fact that when we go against the big dogs, the Lions are not performing well. Yeah, you put up 52 on the Bears. Like, you should. The Bears, who are leading the NFC North. But at the same time, I'm like, we can't get our crap together against the Philadelphia Eagles, who only scored, what, was that 16? Jalen Hurts held to a season low in passer rating, 63.8. His completion percentage was not great, 50%. Now, granted, the weather played a big factor in this game. There was something about it, both sides of the ball. Drops. Goddard, I remember on that first drive that Philadelphia had, he drops the ball, like multiple drops throughout this game. And I don't know if it was just due to the wind or how cold it was or what, but we saw that everywhere, including St. Brown. Philadelphia's defense played great ball last night. They just played great ball. They brought the pressure. That D-line doing work up against our O-line, finding a way through, getting their hands up, batting down, multiple passes from Goff, the interception that only turns into 3 right off the first drive for the Lions. But St. Brown, man, he had a bad game. St. Brown had a bad game. Jared Goff as well. Jared Goff, the amount of pressure brought to him, when other teams dial up the pressure, we saw it against Minnesota and we see it again against Philly. And there's a real fear there. There's a real fear of being like, this O-line, if they can't do their job, there's just not enough time for these plays to develop and for Goff to make the right throw and an accurate throw. Again, the weather brutal last night for both quarterbacks. I didn't see anything special out of either offenses. Really, man, I'm very, very let down by the Lions O-line. The rest of the team wasn't playing up to snuff for it to even matter in the end. Special teams is looking crappy 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row of I don't know what's going on. And there are some of these, like Khalif, let's just get the fair catch going because it ain't working. It ain't working. We are struggling, special teams on both sides, whether we are receiving or kicking, and it's getting frustrating. It's frustrating. You got to start playing your best football in November, and that was not our best football. The O-line was bad. Going for it on fourth again and again and again and again and failing. The one with Gibbs, with Gibbs up the middle and he runs into, I think, Monty's back. I don't know. The whole thing, everything felt off. The fake punt. Listen, and I'm going to say this. Live by the sword, die by the sword. This is who the Lions are. This is the identity that we are, which is smash mouth. We're going for it on fourth. We're going for it on fourth. We haven't seen a fake punt in quite some time. And I don't really care about that. I really don't. I'm not sitting around being like, man, we shouldn't have gone for it on fourth again. Listen, Jake Bates wasn't hitting it. We're not kicking field goals last night, okay? So going for it on fourth makes sense unless you're going to punt it, in which case it was working because defensively we were playing lights out. So on one hand, I'm like, okay, why are we going for it again and again and again? The GD moment that makes you pull out a backwoods bastard by Founders made me go right to the fridge, was going for it on fourth when we drive down the whole field and you're thinking like, this is it. Because we're not kicking the field goal. We got to put up 6 here and we fail on that conversion. And I just sat there and I'm like, this game is killing me. It's killing me. Both defenses playing phenomenal ball. Both offenses struggling just to push down the field. And we push it all the way down just to fall short again. And look, man, I don't hate going for it. So that's not what I'm sitting. I'm just like, I love the culture and the identity that Dan Campbell has created here. So I ain't complaining about that. I like that we're going for it on fourth down over and over again. I'm cool with it. It's just at what point can we not convert because the O-line isn't doing their job and they're not doing, and the drops and I don't know. It was kind of a perfect storm of failure. It was a perfect storm of everything going wrong and spiraling out of control. And that happens, man. That happens. And whatever, dude. I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, okay, we got to be able to run with the big dogs. We've got to be able to run with the big dogs, because at what point do you just beat up on the bad teams? Are we just beating them? Yeah, we beat Baltimore when they were doing terrible. But it looks good in the win column against Baltimore, but I'm like, what was Baltimore even doing at that point? You lose to Green Bay. Now you beat Tampa, and then you lose. So I don't know. I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, oh boy, this is frustrating. It's November. We should be playing a lot better ball than this, and it's kind of a little bit scary in our division when you're looking and you're like, you're just jockeying for a wild card spot. That is it. That is it for today. Let us prepare for the New York Giants. This is a game that the Lions have to win. Got to bounce back. Lions haven't lost back-to-back games in however many games, blah, blah, blah. I know, but you got to figure it out. We're pussyfooting around out there at the moment, and you've got one of the best rosters in the NFL, but you're losing these games because you can't quite figure it out. I don't know. But there's work to be done. So we will look forward to this game against New York. Keep you updated as we go. And that is it. That is it for today. Imagine I lit this. It's me blowing it out.